I want to talk a little bit about a crop rotational trial that we've got right here, looking at Clearfield rice and rotations. But before I do that, I just want to comment a little bit on the year we've had. As I drive around the state and look at the rice, I got to be honest with you, I'm really surprised at just how clean a lot of these fields that we have look. We got behind the 8-ball on broadleaf control in a lot of trials, and I think, you know, even though we have some clean fields, I had a lot of heads shaking yes on the previous tour that we probably have a lot of expensive fields out there too, getting them to look the way we do. But it's been a tough year with all the rainfall that we've had. Pre's worked good, but then broke down very quickly, and all of a sudden all this plot work I had to answer grass control questions was totally meaningless when all the duck salad and eclipta and dayflower and calls like that started coming in. So sometimes you hit a home run on plot work, and sometimes you can't use any of it to answer the calls. We saw a big fallback on a lot of older chemistry that we hadn't used in a while, like Basagran for dayflower. And we saw a lot of duet go out earlier than normal. I had duet calls much earlier than I normally did. So it's been a tough year, but my hat's off to those of you that have struggled through it and have got some clean fields out of the deal. So, but like I said, I do think, unfortunately, some of them are probably pretty expensive. The one trial that I did want to mention, you know, a lot of y'all remember last year we had hurricanes and a lot of rainfall come through. We had a lot of shattering out in some of these fields. We continue to worry about resistance building up in Clearfield fields. We're in our 7th year of Clearfield production. Most of the models looking at ALS chemistry would indicate that 6 to 7 years, whether you have outcrossing or not, you'll start to see the buildup of resistant weeds in this type of technology. So we continue to be concerned about that. This is a rotational study that we planted 3 times this year trying to get it established, and that totally screws up a rotational study. It just kept pushing us back later. If y'all want to see our soybeans, they're back there in the block behind the rice, and there aren't any. We planted them 3 times, got 5 inches of rain every time we planted, and we ain't got no soybeans. So basically we ended up with a few fallow treatments out here that we're going to carry on through the year. And we ended up with a few treatments here in the rice block that we can look at. The main one that I wanted to show you, and basically what we did is we simulated a field of hybrid Clearfield rice out here that had shattered, okay? And this is a bay where we already have done a lot of red rice work, so we know we have a lot of red rice out here. In fact, we know we have outcrossed red rice out here. So this is a kind of a worst case scenario field for us to put into some rotational options. The plot that you're standing in front of that looks fairly clean compared to the others is our plot where we did basically nothing. We said we're just going to go right back in and grow Clearfield rice and not do any management strategy to address the outcrossing and the shattering and the problems that we had last year. And as you can see, there's quite a bit of red rice out there in this plot. It had 2 shots of New Path and a shot of Storm to take out some of the broadleaves. Most of the rice plants that you see up above are really rough leafed, and I believe they're red rice plants. I believe we had a lot of red rice plants come in. We were supposed to look at a bunch of different tillage options prior to planting: Roundup burn downs, fallows, Liberty beans, Roundup ready beans, a whole bunch of different rotational scenarios. Most of that got screwed up this year because of the weather and because of the need for it to be timely and be early. I think we're essentially going to scrap this, start over in the 3rd bay down there, and try to get it in right next year so that maybe we can get some more meaningful data off of it.